Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again. So, President Donald Trump made his first, as we would call it, State of the Union address last night. And as I listened to him, people were saying he quieted down and he seems to be a little bit more reserved than what he has been through his campaign and these past 40 days of his administration. It amazes me how people could think about things like that as if this is supposed to be an indication that he's toned down his propaganda. He's toned down his way of thinking. It's amazing how people how people can be led, oh man, all across the place. And as I was listening to Donald saying what he was going to do, it reminded me of what the past president, Barack Obama, talked about what he was going to do. He addressed, Barack Obama did, a wider audience of people who were hoping that he would make the difference. And he didn't make the difference. And people who had waited for so long hoping that a black man finally being president would be the answer. Well, since that didn't happen, so the next offer the American people had before them was, as they themselves called it, was evil. So they decided to go for evil, and now evil in the beginning told them exactly how evil was going to perform. And it seemed to rock their boats a little bit because they didn't want to face the fact that they were this evil. So evil's spokesman had to tone it down a little bit to make the people think that, well, perhaps they are not as evil as they really are. And so they can be able to go forward believing, convincing themselves that they are not as evil as they are, when in reality they are every bit as evil as they are. My message today is for those of you who are not this evil, that I want to say that no other person, no man or woman, can do any better than what Donald Trump is doing right now. They can do different, but no better. And the reason they can do no better is because the ideas that they bring forward are ideas of men. And when I say men, I'm talking about the choice that says selfish. You know, you got choice, but there's a choice that says selfish. And when I say men, I'm talking about selfish. When I say men, I'm talking about those who decided that they did not want to walk according to the path that was laid down by the Creator, the path that led to peace, prosperity, and joy, that led to your dreams coming true. They didn't want to do it that way. They decided to go in choice different than that way, which was selfishness. And so any ideas about where to go and where this nation can go and how to get there will be made by selfishness, and it will not be the answer. The only answer to the way is by the guidelines that have been set by the Creator. The Creator set the path, but you don't have to go the path. You can go choice, the original plan's way or your way. Your choice. The original plan's way or your way. We've been going even from the, well, I guess we can say from the beginning of time. But since we can't actually confirm that, we'll go back from the beginning of the United States of America. We can basically confirm that. From then until now, we have gone self, self. And as you can understand, the President of the United States last night was talking about America first. America first. And when you put that against groups of nations, what it's saying is self. What it is saying is self. And the people applauded every time they talked about self, because that's the way they are. Self, as the president has said, they are self. And the whole purpose of this mission is to confirm that it is about self, But the alternative is to go back to the original way, the way of the master. And it's not that complicated. It's not that complicated at all. Yet there is a price to pay, but it's one that you should be glad to pay. And that is that you treat others like you want to be treated. Everything is a given. Hell is a given. Heaven is a given. Treat everyone like you want to be treated, and I promise you, you will experience heaven from the moment you begin to do it. Be selfish, and I promise you, you can begin to experience hell. Some of you are going to be thinking you're in heaven, others are going to think you're in hell. But just stay on that road long enough, it will switch around. Well, thank you so very much for giving me this your time. Eddie Marcus, spokesman and advocate for basic human rights for all people. In other words, the voice for love, the voice for God, the voice for the Spirit, the voice for you. Bye-bye.